Hello, my courageous Cancer, and welcome to your monthly general reading. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Oops. Also, if you haven't had a chance, please do check out your moon reading. I have an abundance and love reading up previously on my channel as well. If you haven't had a chance to check those out, please do so. Otherwise, if you enjoy this, please do like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, all that other great stuff. You don't want to miss some upcoming videos. I do plan to do, hopefully, some at least single card videos, some quick things over the next couple weeks. I will be in Europe with some lovely backgrounds, hopefully in the fjords, Scotland, England, things like that. So maybe you'll at least enjoy that. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do a past, present, future spread. The time is fluid in tarot, of course. So your past may be ongoing, your present may still be where you are, or you may have already moved into some of your future stages there. So let's go ahead and see what we've got for you. And of course, at the end, we will get some clarifiers from our psychic deck here. Okay, so let's see what we've got going for you. All right, Four of Cups, okay, and the Eight of Swords. So I do feel like you are in a position right now where you're not feeling your best in a situation, whether this is a work situation or a home situation, take it as it resonates. But I do feel like you are feeling like you're kind of trapped, confined, and you're not trying to hear a lot of people right now. So maybe there's people kind of giving you, you know, their advice. I feel like for some people, you know, you're feeling a little bit trapped and people are trying to giving you maybe some unsolicited advice, not trying to hear it, okay? That might be part of it. Also, otherwise, it could be something where you have tried to break out or break free from a situation, okay? And you're either having difficulty doing so, perhaps, or you have broken out of it, like a relationship that wasn't great, a job that wasn't great, something like that. And while you've gotten out of that, you're not trying to hear the opportunity to go back to that. And maybe they are trying to apologize or breadcrumb you back, or, you know, tell you, hey, come back and we'll, you know, promise you the world, this and that, but you know better, right? So you're not trying to hear it. And the reason that they're doing that is because you feel like you're in a trap situation, okay? So maybe by coming out of this situation that you were in, you've kind of found yourself maybe in a little bit of a precarious situation. So if you've broken up in a relationship and maybe now you're kind of financially struggling a little bit because maybe they were the breadwinner and you've had to find yourself looking for a new place to stay, looking for a new job, or looking for new income, or things of that nature. They may be coming back and saying, okay, we'll see, now you couldn't, you know, your things are hard, you're struggling, but I can make things better, you know, come on back. And you're not trying to hear them because you know that they're just making empty promises, you know, they nickel diming you, they, you know, they're breadcrumbing you, all that kind of stuff. But you're still feeling that kind of like trap stage because you're kind of like, my options are very limited, okay? So that's kind of, they're taking advantage almost of that as well. So let's get another one on that. Strength, okay, but you're standing strong, and that's what I feel like. I feel like here, you know, your options are limited, but you're still not trying to hear it because you're standing strong, right? You know what that situation was like. You know what it felt like to be in it, and you don't want to go back down that road, right? You know that they may be making you promises that might temporarily make your life easier if you went back to it, if you went back to that job that was toxic or that relationship that was toxic. Yes, that might put you back in your comfy house, or that might put you back in a little bit less of a precarious financial situation, what have you. But it would be just exchanging one problem for another, right? You're going to go back there, but you obviously got out of that for a reason, right? You knew that it wasn't a good situation. So you'd just be trading one stress for another, and you'd rather just kind of stand on your own, be strong, push through it. You know you feel bound up and limited right now, but you are confident you'll make it through. And I am too, okay? Be confident, because getting out of it is always usually the hardest part. Making the decision to get out and then being strong enough to actually make it happen, do it, pull the trigger, go, is difficult, right? So let's see what you do with that strength, where you go here in the present, if you will, area, because the present area, again, you may still be in this part, you may be here or all the way through part of this, but I do see that there is a Six of Cups here. So I feel like somebody from your past is coming in as a love there now. For some of you, this could be this person who's still trying to come back and woo you again and again and again, that you're not trying to hear. But I think for most of you, this is somebody else. This is somebody who sees that you are now freed up, They see that you are now out of this and you're staying out of it, right? They may have stood by for a while. They may be somebody who's been a good friend, friend zoned, somebody you've known for a long time, and they've watched you go through this whole process. And, you know, they really wanted to kind of make sure you'd really cut it off, because this may be a relationship that's just been so volatile that you've been out of it, in and out of it, in and out of it to some degree, right? Many times. So nobody else really wanted to kind of get involved. But this time you've kind of stood firm. I'm done this time, right? I'm done. And I feel like this person feels a little bit more confident about coming around. So if you've got a friend who is a really close person that you would be interested in you, or you've kind of gotten the vibe that they're interested in you and more than just a friend, but you've had them friend zone since you've been in this situation, I do feel like they're going to be kind of revealing more than just their intention of friendship here. Now, we do have the Five of Pentacles. So I do feel like, again, this is something where, you know, you are struggling a little bit financially. And I do feel like this is, again, part of what's making you feel kind of tied up here, of course. Because anytime you're leaving a situation, a relationship, especially if it's one where you were in a narcissistic relationship or a controlling relationship where maybe they kind of financially controlled you, took away your ability to have your own job, income, funds to a certain degree even, you know, it can be a step back. But I do feel like you are moving forward, right? So you are still carrying some burdens. You know, you may have children you're trying to take care of. You may have other people you're trying to take care of. So I do feel like you're working your way through this, but I'm confident that you will make it through this. The Judgment card in reverse. So with that, I do feel like, you know, this is something where you're not able to make a lot of strong choices and decisions. I feel like maybe you're having a little bit of like, almost like you're feeling a little bit vulnerable, weak, in that, you know, here again, this is all part of this. You know, you're a very strong person. You're standing strong to your idea that I've got to break free, I've got to get out of this. But at the same time, this is a situation that's new for you, right? You've been here, you've been kind of in a comfortable situation, and maybe you stayed longer than you should have, right? Because it wasn't ideal, it wasn't great, it may have been downright awful, but in some regards it was convenient because it was something that financially was stable or this or that. And now you're feeling, I feel like this is the main thing right here, is financially you feel a little bit weakened, okay? And again, for many of you, I feel like this is a situation where you had somebody who was controlling of you in a financial sense. Maybe they were the breadwinner, maybe they were the ones who owned the home, maybe they were the ones who just didn't want you to work, or maybe you were a stay-at-home parent, something of that nature. And for all intents and purposes, when you've come out of this, it's really kind of taken you a step back now, where you've had to kind of figure out what you're going to do. So, you know, judgment, choices, options, making decisions, getting to do that kind of thing is not really something you're able to do as much as you'd like. You're a little bit more vulnerable to whatever you can take right now. You're doing whatever you have to do to really survive right now, and it is a little bit of a stressor for you financially. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting there. But okay, the Death card. And in tarot, that's the one place that the death is not a bad thing, right? Okay, because this means it's the ending of something. You're ending a cycle so that you can start fresh and new, right? And you need to do that. This has to happen. So, you know, whatever you're going through here, it has to end. So if this person is still coming around, if they're still bothering you, stop it. If this is something that you're involved with, that you are depending on them, okay, in a financial sense, and I do feel like that's what I'm gaining here. I'm feeling like a lot of it was that you were still depending on them in a financial sense, even after you left, even after all of this, maybe there was still some dependence on them. And that's what was giving them this opportunity to feel like they could still make offers, nickel dime, kind of hold some control, any of that was still making you feel kind of weak, or like you still had to kind of, you know, not really have a lot of choices or options. You're still kind of tied to that. Cut that off, right? If you need to go out there and start something new, if you need to work 2 jobs, whatever you need to do, if you need to ask for help from somebody that, you know, is not going to hold things over your head, parent, best friend, family member, whatever it may be, a loan from a bank, whatever it is that you feel like you need to do, okay? I don't care if you need government assistance, whatever it is you feel like you need to do to get you through, to cut this feeling off, this feeling of reliance, this feeling of weakness, this feeling of, you know, being tied up, all of that, cut it off, end it. don't have, if you can cut communication completely off with them, do so. It's going to be the best for you to move forward in a positive sense, okay? Because they're just going to keep trying to hold this over you. And their finance is what I really feel like they're holding as their last stronghold over you, their only stronghold over you. It's not an emotional connection anymore that you have, if you ever did. It's not a love connection. You don't feel those kinds of things anymore, but you really are kind of bound somehow in a financial sense, and it is something you worry about and you're concerned about, and you feel like, you know, here again, you feel like there's a tie there where you have to hang on, you know, help me, you know, kind of situation, and it's putting you in a weak position. So you have to cut that off, right? And to get yourself a new place, a new position, right? So let's see going forward what we've got for you. And the Justice card is telling me that you are going to get justice. So if this person is somebody you were in a long relationship with, okay? This person is somebody who is, you know, a spouse, a significant other that you had children with, something like that, there will be justice, okay? So there will be funds that will come your way if they're owed to you, and they won't be able to hold them over your head, okay? If a court you may have to go the route of court with this death card. You may have to say, okay, fine, we're gonna have to do this legally through a court. I've been letting you do too much of this off the records and hold too much over me. No, I'll just let the courts handle it. I don't need to see you, talk to you, whatever. We'll let that go through there, and justice will come, be served that way, so that you get what you're due and you don't have to deal with that. You know, there's no more of this manipulation, holding over my head kind of situation, right? But I definitely feel like you're going to get your justice, right? Whatever it is, I feel like you're going to get the justice from this situation. You're going to be the strong one who's going to get your justice. You will be fine, okay? This Queen of Wands is letting me know that this is your energy. You are certainly going to be fine. Once you get that justice, once you get that one thing that's really holding you back, and for most of you, the main thing I'm seeing here is really they had a financial hold over you, right? They used that. That's probably why you stayed as long as you did. That's probably why you put up with as much as you did. They had you in a financial stronghold in some form or fashion. But you're going to get out of that, and you're going to get out of that beautifully, right? And when you do, you're going to be the Queen of Wands, right? You're going to be on a strong, stable, firm, dominant foundation with opportunities aplenty, putting out this type of wand energy where you are fiery hot. People are going to be able to, you know, you're putting out this vibration that's high, right? So you're going to be able to find the jobs you need, find the relationships you need, find what you need and want in life, right? But it's going to take you getting some confidence back. You know, you're already strong, but you're unable to really flex or show that strength because of all of this kind of tie here, right? But now, once you get your justice, you're able to do that. So here we have Temperance. And Temperance is usually something where you're kind of making a decision, but this is in reverse. So again, I feel like you don't have to choose here. I feel like you're not having to make choices, right? You are able to kind of have it all at this point because you are the Queen of Wands. You're no longer dealing with somebody who is cutting off your choices. You're no longer dealing with somebody who's limiting, you know, your connections, what you can have, what you can talk to or speak with, or any of those, right? You've had your justice, and now you are the queen, right? Gender neutral, of course. If you're male, that's fine too. But you're in that queenly state, right? So you no longer have to make choices. You don't have to give to get. You don't have to, you know, really kind of balance and think about it. You can ultimately just have what you want at this point, and that's actually really a nice thing, okay? And this is a Two of Swords is a kind of like a courageous card of decision. It's a decisive, courageous card where you can decide to do something that is, you know, you can do it without even looking, right? They're blindfolded. You just basically like, this is what I'm going to do. I want this. And again, with the Temperance card being in reverse, you're not even having to contemplate. Just about anything that you decide is going to work out for you. It's going to be great for you because you have unlimited choices, right? So you're going to be able to pull the trigger and decide anything you want. I want this, I want that. So opportunities are coming in hot and heavy, and you're able to make a courageous choice on what you want out of your life, whether this be in a relationship, whether this be in a job. Take it as it resonates, but you will know when it comes in. I feel like you will know certainly when you are faced with an option here that your gut will tell you, right? It's something that your gut's going to say, bam, that's what I want to do, and I'm just going at it because it's like a blindfolded I don't need it. My intuition's telling me what I want, and I'm going to go for it. You don't really have to sit on it and think about it. With this Temperance card, it's what you want. You know it. You feel it. You could do it, make the decision blindfolded. Bingo, bango, and it's perfect for you, right? And then here we have the 10 of Pentacles, and that's in reverse, right? So I think the thing here is not saying that, you know, you're going to have lost wages, lost money, all of these things. I don't feel like that's the situation. What I do feel like is, for you, this is an ending card. The 10 of Pentacles, 10 is an ending card, but in reverse, I feel like this is kind of like where you're ending your reliance financially on somebody else, right? So this is where you kind of make a decision to cut it off, even if it does negatively affect you temporarily, right? Financially, but it's what you need to do anyway to move forward in a positive way. And it's all positive here. It's justice here. It's all these things here. So by this, I think what's happening is you're going to be able to start to build your own wealth, prosperity, abundance for yourself by ending this reliance on somebody else, okay? And like I said, this is a courageous decision, right? This is a decision that you don't really have to think about. You make with gut instinct, courageously, with this, you know, fiery, hot Queen of Wands energy. And again, I believe that is because you know that you want nothing to do with this. You are willing to cut back some funds. You're willing to give up whatever. You're severing ties. You're going to get your justice of what you're due. Now, it may not be what you're used to, right? So you maybe have to end that type of certain level of abundance you were used to, but you're more than happy to do that because it is where you get to start becoming your own, right? You're starting your own new way as the Queen of Wands, with your own strong decisions that you know are right, with your own justice and your new beginning for yourself, okay? So, which is making you non-reliant on anybody else. So that's going to be the best thing for you, right? Because then if anything does go wrong, if anything else does go amiss ever with a relationship, with anything else, A, you've learned your lesson not to kind of let somebody else take control of your funds or finances, but B, now you'll have your funds and finances controlled by you. So you won't ever have to worry about being in a situation again. You won't be in this situation where you're worried or afraid or feel weakened, right? So that's actually a very good thing to happen. You know, sometimes you have to take a step back in order to really propel yourself positively forward, and that's okay, because, you know, you don't need to be, you know, full 10 of, you know, ultimately, do you want to have all this comfort, right? Because you can live in this big, beautiful house. Maybe that's what you had here, right? But you were being treated poorly, perhaps. Here, okay, maybe you're moving into a smaller house, kind of starting from scratch with what justice you got. You're starting something smaller, but you're building up something that's yours on your own and nobody's treating you poorly. Which would you rather have, right? Okay, so let's see what we got here. Psychic deck for us. All right, well, we have wisdom. And I definitely think that's what's going on here. I think you are pulling your strength together because you know this isn't right for you, right? Your wisdom, your knowledge, everything you know about this person is telling you cut them off, don't listen to them anymore. They made you feel bound up. Yes, you still feel bound up afterwards because you know it's kind of making you feel like your options are limited. You have less to work with than maybe you did before, but you know, you're wise enough to know, you've seen enough to know that this is the best thing to do to stand strong, right? For sure. Okay, the universe is certainly working in your favor. We know this because, you know, throughout this process, they're going to send you somebody here from your past, okay, who's going to be there as a support system. That could be the person who helps you, you know, get the justice, that helps you. It could be a friend, a family member, it could be a loved one, but somebody who I think is going to kind of help you through this. And again, the universe is telling you right here that this is where it has to end. This is where you have to put the kibosh on all of this. You've got to stop connection with this person. You've got to stop any sort of any sort of things that you are leaning on this person for, because they're still using that as a control. And that's where the universe is entering and saying, nope, no more. Once you cut off their control, then you can start to build your own life, your own strength, your own whatever you want, right? And that's what you do, because here we have new beginnings, and that's exactly what we're doing here. You're getting your justice. You're starting your own new life with Queen of Wands energy. You're making your own decisions, and you may be not starting with the lifestyle that you had, but you're starting with a lifestyle that is new and your own. So whatever you build is going to be yours and yours alone, and it's going to be something that you are going to be proud of, control, and not able to have taken away from you. And that's something that you've not had recently, right? So this new beginning is beautiful for you, and it's all kind of coming together here with the universe kind of guiding you to cut off ties to this. And you kind of know you need to do that anyway, but just that little bit extra push from the universe saying, you know what, whatever you're still leaning on them for, stop. There are other ways to get justice that don't involve you allowing them to control it. You know, if you need intervention from the court system, something like that, you know, go that route, okay? Because anytime you're letting them still dictate any terms, they still have some sort of control over you, and you don't want that anymore. You want a new, fresh start on your own. So I hope this did resonate with you. If it did, please do like, subscribe, share. Otherwise, I hope to see you back soon. Bye.